Hey guys, my name is Tanya and today I would like to talk about digital coaching. Because we live in the digital era, more and more organizations and teams consist of members who are globally distributed and connected only by technology. The restrictions that are imposed on all of us right now due to the COVID-19 pandemic are only accelerating that digital transformation. As a consequence, employees, teams, and managers alike need to learn how to do the work in an ever-growing virtual world. But it also means that you can get the support that you need to deal with these rapid changes through digital channels and not necessarily from a person who's on site. The CEO of OMIND Consulting, Aurelia Engelsberger, is here with me today to provide answers to the most pressing questions about coaching digitally. Hi Aurelia, thank you for being here.
Hi, Tanya. Sure, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Aurelia, before we talk about digital coaching, maybe you can first tell us a bit about OMIND Consulting.
Yeah, of course. So, OMIND is a startup consulting firm which offers a holistic HR approach to organizations. With the rise of globalization, international and intercultural collaboration gains in importance. So, the mission of OMIND is to enable employees to work better across teams and exchange knowledge between them. So, our focus is on the people and to support them to benefit from open innovation.
So, from your point of view, what does it need to be able to coach a team remotely?
Well, any good relationship is built first and foremost on trust. So here it is not different. However, trust comes naturally more easily when working face to face with someone. So you can read their body language, their face expressions, and their tone of voice. They're all essential signals to know whether someone is telling the truth and feels comfortable or even comfortable when talking to you. So when all that, or even if parts of it are missing, it becomes harder to establish a common ground that is based on trust. So trust is also built through shared experiences and common relationships, both of which are harder to have from a distance. So what do? Because of that, it is critical to first meet the team that you will be coaching digitally in the future, face to face. Spend time with them and get to know them. The people you're coaching need to trust you enough to share their successes and failures, expose their vulnerabilities, and ask for help. And trust isn't a one-way street, by the way. Building up a mutual relationship over time is a necessity if you want to be successful.
And how do you build trust?
That's a very good question. Well, in my experience, working together in person over a decent amount of time creates trust. So if you manage to solve a problem together as a team, it brings you closer together and you start relying on each other. Especially if you're going through a really tough time together. For example, working under high pressure to reach a tight deadline, you really get to know each other. Moreover, we are all human beings, and in my point of view, it's important to get to know the person you're working with beyond the professional life to be able to trust them. So if you want to build up a long-term relationship based on common understanding, same values, and mutual trust, it is important to have private conversations beyond work, spend lunch breaks together, or even go to after-work events together. I think as a coach, if you really want to help people to grow, you need to get to know them very well. Their strengths and their weaknesses, and yeah, so that you're actually able to understand what they basically need.
And what is OMIND's strategy to establish successful digital coaching?
Well, look, I'm a big believer that after you have established a personal relationship through face-to-face interaction, anything is possible virtually. So all my strategy is to get to know the team members over a decent period of time during an initial observation phase, understand the problems they are facing, and create an understanding for each team member. So after you get to know each other in person and have established the same values, coaching from a distance is a great way to pursue a long-term cooperation. So if you have found a coach who understands your team, their strengths and weaknesses, I believe that this coach can support you in all your matters along the way, and you can establish a long-term partnership.
And so, is the perfect strategy a hybrid form of remote and on-site work for you then?
Yeah, definitely. So if it is possible to do the target performance analysis on site, then I would always recommend doing so. Once you get to know the organization and its employees, it is so much easier to then switch to coaching digitally.
I get it. So now one last question for you. What are the overall advantages and challenges of a virtual coach?
I think it's a huge advantage to have a coach who knows the challenges your team is dealing with and has a personal relationship with your team members and is aware of their strengths and weaknesses. So that the coach is also able to maintain your team's performance and progress, because he or she is always available in case there arises a problem or the performance decreases. So you don't only save money, but also time that is associated with the business trip of the coach to be on site. So without a big financial investment, the digital coach is available, knows the team, and can give advice on the spot. So additionally, it is so much easier to organize virtual team meetings, and it's also more convenient for the team members as well. Well, so I think there are heaps of advantages, to be honest, but of course there are also challenges associated with such work. For example, like how to maintain trust over distance. How do you make sure that you get all the relevant information to be able to maintain the team's performance? How do you keep the team motivated? But look, I'm convinced that if the same values and beliefs are established in the first place, there will always be a way to maintain that partnership and keep it successful.
Well, thank you, Aurelia, for that interesting interview and your thoughts on coaching remotely.
You're very welcome, Tanya.
And thank you guys for watching.